Welcome to Pixel Geek Smackdown with your host, Danny, with my co-host, Mike.
What's up, everybody? It's nice to see you. Now, it has been a long time coming. God only knows how many times it's taken us to get this.
Years and years.
A lot longer than I'd like to admit. But,
So on today's episode, we'll be talking about how we got into pro wrestling.
now, is it WWE, WCW, or I guess technically it would be WWF then, wouldn't it?
I think it would be WWF. I was never a WCW kid.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you watched some of it.
No, I never watched a single bit of it until the network came out.
Oh, Jesus. That's when you marathoned the hell out of it?
Pretty much.
But,
go
ahead.
So I'll start.
All right, hit me. How did you get in?
All right, let's rewind back to 1997.
All right, let's see. Titanic was #1 at the box office. I think Friends was still just starting to come out. Friends came out in like 92 or something.
Yeah.
All right, sorry to interrupt.
Well, we didn't really look up what was going on in 97.
I mean, I could while you're doing some start talking. I'll look it up.
All right. So back in the summer of 97, I was 7 years old. I was on summer vacation. It was a weekday. I don't know what weekday it was. Might have been Monday. I'm not 100% sure. But my mom was watching a VHS tape. And I don't remember what she was watching, but when it ended, Stone Cold Steve Austin was wrestling the British Bulldog and Owen Hart. And that's when Dude Love came out. And they won the match and the tag team titles. And ever since then, that got me hooked into pro wrestling. Huh. I remember the next couple of days I was being an annoying little shit. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, we didn't say what words we can't say and not say.
Well, I mean, it's a podcast, so it's pretty much a free-for-all.
Okay. So anyway, I was being annoying to my grandparents. I'm like, I kept on talking about how cool like that moment was. You know, with Stone Cold Steve Austin, the British Bulldog, Owen Hart, Dude Love. And I just kept on hounding them, like, wow, that was so awesome. I can't wait to watch it again. Because I didn't know that wrestling was on every week. I thought it was like a movie or something.
Back in the days when you actually had to go to the movie theater to see it and wait a year for it to come on the VHS?
Pretty much. That's what I thought it was. Because I didn't know it was week to week. Because, you know, this is 97. We didn't have a computer. I didn't have friends.
Jesus Christ, too far.
What, I couldn't say that?
You can, yes.
Okay, so my grandma eventually said, okay, I'm going to take you to the video store to buy you a ticket so you can be quiet about this. Because can you imagine me 7 years old just being annoying?
Yes, I can.
Because you've known me for a long time, and you know my grandma.
Yes, she was like, oh my God.
Rest in peace, Grandma. I know you're probably listening or watching this right now.
And laughing.
So anyway, she took me to Suncoast Video or FYI. I can't remember what video store we went to.
All right.
And we were at the wrestling section, and I picked WrestleMania 13 on VHS. We go to the counter, and the guy was like, oh, are you into wrestling? And my grandma said, well, he just got into it.
Oh, that was
and I'm like, yeah, this is my first tape. I can't wait to go home and watch it. And then he says, well, we still have last year's WrestleMania. Like, would you like to buy it up for half off? And my grandma like thought about it for a second. Yeah, we'll take because it was like half off.
Right.
And I don't know how much tapes were back those days. What, like $15, $20?
I can tell you, at least when I would go and buy the Dragon Ball Z VHSs, they're $14.99 each.
So it had to be like that price range. So it was probably like half of that. So I got home, watched WrestleMania 13 first, because I remember Stone Cold and Bret Hart in that hellish match that they had, you know, where he puts him in that submission and he just passes out.
Yes.
So that was one of my first WrestleMania. Then I put WrestleMania 12 on, and I got so pissed. The reason I got pissed is because they showed that it was at the Arrowhead Pond.
Right.
which we don't live that far from.
Yep.
And I said, like in my little mind, I was thinking, son of a bitch, I could have went to WrestleMania 12 a year too late.
I mean, at least nowadays.
Mm-hmm. So that was like, that pissed me off right there. So then a few weeks go by, or a month, and luckily they had a house show there. I don't remember what was on the card. I just remember getting a Bulldog action figure, a Shawn Michaels action figure, and the one night only VHS tape.
I mean, I do remember really wanting a Shawn Michaels action figure, and I never got one. Now that you said that, I remember I wanted one. I just never got one. I wonder how much.
Was it the Bone Cruncher one?
I think so.
Yeah, it was the Bone Cruncher series. I think they had Bret Hart and Goldust and Undertaker too. But I remember what I'm saying. You can only buy 2 action figures and something else, and then you're not getting anything for a while. Because that was expensive, plus the tickets.
Yes.
So then, you rewind a little bit. So I've been to pretty much every Raw, SmackDown, and house show that they've had at the Arrowhead Pond / Honda Center. The only ones I didn't get to do was WrestleMania 16/2000 and Royal Rumble 99.
Why?
They sold out.
Oh, real fast?
Yeah. Like, I was so disappointed, but at least we got to watch them on pay-per-view, and I look back at them like, I'm kind of glad that wasn't my first Royal Rumble and my first WrestleMania live.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. My first WrestleMania live will be for another story, but not in this one. That's just pretty much what I gotta say for it.
So real fast, I looked up what was happening in 1997. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready for this one?
Okay.
Princess Diana died in
All
1997. Right. Buffy the Vampire Slayer premiered. Titanic was obviously number 1. Scientists in Scotland announced that they cloned an adult mammal producing a lamb named Dolly. I remember that. Let's see. What was that? Google.com was registered as a domain name. Those were like the big ones. I mean, there's a bunch of people that passed away and stuff, but that's we're not here to be sad. We're just here to reminisce about, what I mean, what happened.
That'll be for other stories, other episodes.
But yeah,
because I got a whole bunch of other fucked up shit that's happened to me.
Yeah, me and you both, buddy.
So how did you get into wrestling?
So I remember when I was probably 6 or 7, probably around that same time that you're talking about. I remember
like 97, 98-ish?
Yeah, so either between 96 and 98. I think it was right around, I think it was right after Stone Cold did his 316 speech, the King of the Ring. Okay,
so that was 96.
I think it was around there, because I remember Stone Cold coming out with the glass shatter and everything.
No, wait. Was that 96? No. 96, 97. Yeah. Does WrestleMania? Yeah, it was 96.
Calling out the wrestling fanatic here and catching him off guard.
Oh, no, because I got my years mixed up for a second. Sorry.
It's all right. But I remember 90, around there. I'm not going to say 100% there, but I remember around there. My dad was watching it, and I happened to watch a little bit of it. It never really clicked with me. I never was super interested to big buff men kind of bumping against each other. I always thought that was weird. And my mom would get super grumpy about it. So then I was like, whatever. It is what it is. And then...
Oh, so she didn't like watching that?
She did not know.
Yeah, she thought maybe you were going to imitate the moves.
Yes. Although, I mean, my dad imitated the moves on us all the time, me and my little brother. And then in high school, when we met, you and a mutual friend were chit-chatting about wrestling and talking about it constantly. Mm-hmm. And then my dad had mentioned that he was going to throw on a WrestleMania 21. And I was like, all right, I'm down for, I guess I'll watch this to see what all the hubbub is. I was like, I didn't really get the appeal of it. And then, WrestleMania 21, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, great show. It was John Cena and JBL, right?
Yep, that was the semi-main event.
And then Batista and Triple H?
Yeah, that was the main event.
Okay, because I remember those. I just they fought so often that like the matches kind of blurred together a little bit.
Hmm. That's another story. I have a WrestleMania 21 story, but that will be for a future episode.
That'll be another bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really WrestleMania 21 that really got me hooked, and I know that the three of us kind of geeked out with each other about it, and we're just like going, "Oh, did you see that did you see that?" You're like, "Oh, he bled," and then
Hmm.
me and you started watching it, and like I'd come over and like watch the pay-per-views, and we'd order Pizza Hut, I think it was, or something.
Yeah.
Huh?
It was Pizza.
Yeah, it was Pizza Hut, and would gorge on like the chicken wings and the pizza, and would be like, "I'm so full." Yeah, that's what I remember most about like getting into wrestling, was really starting to pop over to your grandparents and like watch it, and then we would talk about it, or we would like play the old games.
Hmm.
And
Those were the days.
I know this is sort of on topic, but also not on topic. Did you hear about WrestleMania WWE 2K22?
No, I haven't. Like, I stopped playing the wrestling games after the Attitude one.
The 22, their servers are shutting down.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I think they're either prepping for 24 or they're gonna keep milking 23 for as long as possible.
Well, luckily, I haven't played those games, so I'm not too worried.
I enjoyed 22. You watched me play that.
Oh yeah, I did
Yeah,
on your stream.
yeah. I streamed the general manager mode.
Hmm.
I was like, I think I did at least. But yeah, that was my story. I was hooked on it for about a decade, if not a
Yeah.
little under.
Because you kind of stopped watching after Shawn Michaels retired.
Yeah, I remember 2013ish was around the time I was like, I'm out. Right.
Yeah, I think that's you said that they were pushing Roman too hard.
Yeah, I still don't really like him. I never liked him, so I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore, and I dipped. I still watch it occasionally. Like I'll pop in every now and then, and I'll get
And then
like,
clips every now and then too.
you watch what?
I send you clips every once in a while
Yeah.
if I think you're gonna find it interesting or entertaining.
Yeah, or I'll see it on TikTok or the YouTube Shorts or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's really it. Let's see, what was happening in 1996. I was just curious if this was. How do I go back a year? All right, let's see.
I know 96. That's when I started kindergarten. Well, technically 95, but you know what I mean.
Oh my lord! All right. Train Spotting 1 came out in UK and Ireland. The first ever Pokemon game came out in Japan.
We have a Pokemon story that we're gonna tell in a future episode.
Yes, we do. Spice Girls came out. Tupac died, I guess. Any interesting actors? Or Zendaya, I guess, was born, and Tom Holland were born in 96. The first flip phone, the Motorola StarTAC, goes on sale.
Really? Because I don't remember like cell phones until like the early 2000s.
Yeah, apparently
Or like late 98, 99 to 2000.
I remember like late 90s because it was right around the Y2K bug.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which, I mean, I remember vaguely, but I never really got I never really was super scared of the Y2K bug. But
Oh, I was.
you really?
Yeah,
I know this isn't the topic, but why?
because I thought the world was gonna end.
Really?
Well, at that time I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
We were in 4th grade.
Were you spooked?
Like I remember that like majority of that night. Like I remember that we went to Pizza Hut, got a pizza, came home. I was watching TV, and like every 15, 20 minutes I would look at the clock. It's like, oh, is it midnight? Something gonna happen? Is something gonna happen?
That's funny. I think that was the year me and my grandma and my sister and my mom were playing like Trouble and like Sorry and the board games and stuff. That was also the year that I got banned from playing Trouble because apparently I cheated.
You got to tell that story eventually.
I don't even know. You can't really cheat in Trouble because you push the thing in the middle and it gives you a random number. Like it's a dice. It's the dice one.
But the only thing I like, if the world was going to end, this is a story for another time, but I thought it was like, great. I don't have to deal with my fourth grade teacher because she was a fucking bitch.
I do remember you telling me about that, but like it's so weird because there's the King of the Hill episode and all that stuff.
It's PP. It's for wifey.
Bobby, I still love that he almost drugs himself because of the was it the wood thinner? Yeah,
the center. He's working on the antique clock.
Which I love grandfather clocks. But
I don't.
I'm weird, so there is a story that I'll have to tell you off camera about. I'm trying to collect all the stuff again, the physical stuffs.
That should be interesting.
Mostly just because of what's happening in the real lives.
Oh, because they're like discontinuing everything pretty much.
Yeah.
And everything's gonna just be online kind of thing.
Yes, which I will refuse to do. And a couple of people that I know of are they're doing not 100% legal things with let's just say a pirate's life for me, but that's for another day. But yeah, that's really my wrestling. I mean, I'm sure that we could tell more wrestling stories, but I don't know if you want to, because I mean,
well, this is just an introduction how we got into pro wrestling.
Right. I mean, if we're gonna talk about the live action stuff, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I know
that's like a while to talk about. I gotta talk about going to WrestleMania 21.
I gotta tell you, this will only just be a little snippet, but the only thing when I first started to get into wrestling, it was my ex-stepdad that took me to my first wrestling show. I don't know if I ever told you that.
No, I thought your dad took you to your first wrestling event.
No, it was my ex-stepdad. I told him I was super into wrestling. It was at the Anaheim Pond. The only thing I really remember about that was Kane was there because the entire building freaking shook.
I might have been there.
I assumed you would be, just because it was at the pond, so.
You remember if it was a house show or if it was a taping?
It was a taping, I think.
So, taping.
I couldn't.
So, do you remember what?
Nothing. I
just remember Kane.
Yeah, I just remember Kane. And it was like it was a little bit probably after 21, so, you know.
Okay, so I know which Raw you're talking about.
You do?
Yeah, was it before May 19th?
Yes.
Yes, that was the episode where the Spirit Squad beat Shawn Michaels and John Cena in that 5-on-2 handicap match.
I do vaguely remember that now that you say that. Holy shit, I completely I just remember Kane.
Fully turning heel on Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer was there?
Yeah, remember it was the Edge and Mick Foley rematch from WrestleMania 22? And he brings out Tommy Dreamer and then they just beat the shit out of him?
I do vaguely remember that now that you say that. It's... Wow, okay. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that.
Yeah, I have it written down that episode.
Is it on one of your lists?
Yes.
That's really funny. Because none of this was planned. This was completely me just shooting, because it was something that I don't remember specifically. I just remember sitting in the seats and Kane's music comes out and I jumped because Jesus Christ, that's freaking loud as hell. And
I think that's when he might have wrestled Big Show that night.
Maybe. I don't remember specifics. It has been way too long, because I mean this was 20 years ago.
Yep. 2006.
Almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, because I've gone back and I watched every Raw and SmackDown that's been at the Honda Center / Arrowhead Pond.
Holy shit.
hmm But luckily, it's only like 28 shows.
Back when it was only 2 hours.
There's 2 hours and there's a couple 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah, so we apologize. We're still trying to get used to this. If this episode was a little bit hard to understand or get through.
Yeah, this is definitely a learning curve here.
Yeah, this is our first one doing.
Yeah, don't question why we're doing them out of context or out of order. There's going to be no real order. It's just going to be whatever we have time for at the day of.
Yes, basically, due to my schedule, it's kind of hard for us to shoot this shit.
That's okay. I mean, my schedule ain't. I don't really have anything going on, but it's usually when you're free is when I have to do what I have to do. So.
Yeah, but luckily, what I do is kind of slowing down right now.
Yay! I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing, but I guess your wallet will decide.
Mm-hmm. So, I went to like a lot of house shows from '97 to 2001. But we never went to a SmackDown or a Raw during that time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That surprises me.
Well, because at that time we were still living in Santa Ana.
That's true. And that's a bit of a drive.
Yeah, from Anaheim. Oh, it's like about from where we lived to Anaheim. It would probably have been about 30 to 45 minutes, depends on how you get in and get out.
Yeah, I mean that's still not a drive you want to do. At 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whenever the shows would end.
Well, Mom didn't think that I would want to go to school the next day too.
Ah, yes.
And I was too tired. I didn't want to go to school. Well, I hated school anyway. That's the topic for another episode.
But
so when we finally moved in 2000, my first show was 2001, and it was a SmackDown episode.
Huh.
And I still remember the main event.
What was the main event?
The Forgotten TLC match.
Forgotten?
Well, this is wild. When I say the person's name, you'll understand why.
Oh.
The Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, Chris Jericho, and Chris Benoit.
Yikes. Yeah. Yeah.
That was my first SmackDown, and it was also the night after Triple H tore his quad.
Which I gotta say, watching that match back where he rips his quads, I was like, ooh.
And the thing I remember too about going to that, because I was a huge Triple H fan at that time. Like I had a Triple H shirt that night, and I took a Triple H sign.
Oh wow!
And he wasn't even there.
And you're just like, damn it! I mean, I was a Shawn Michaels scrub, so I get you. And he didn't even wrestle that much when I watched. I mean, he wrestled a lot, but like he wasn't.
Yeah,
like
but luckily that you came when he came back out of retirement.
The first time.
Yeah.
Because I heard that he sort of came out of retirement again after his matches with Taker, and he wrestles every now and then.
He just wrestled that one match. That was it.
Really?
Yep.
And then he's just like, yeah, I'm too old for this.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. Good on him.
Talk about like some of the SmackDowns and Raws that I remember.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I was at the Raw where The Rock returned back in 2011.
Oh, wow. What is, I know this is not, what is Regal doing? Is he AEW now?
No, he went back to WWE.
Is he WWE again?
Yeah, but he just can't be seen on screen right now.
Why?
Because of his contract. Because the way he got out of AEW, they told him that I think he couldn't be on WWE television for a year.
Oh. So I know that he was in AEW for a bit.
Mm-hmm. And then I was at a double taping where Kurt Angle took on Ric Flair. And Shawn Michaels teamed up with John Cena and Hulk Hogan to take on Jericho and Tonko and Christian. And then the SmackDown was to crown the new World Heavyweight Champion, the six-pack challenge. It was JBL, Booker T, Hamad Hassan, Undertaker, Christian, and Chris Benoit. And that's the one where JBL won it. And then they didn't need a champ because that's when Batista got drafted to SmackDown. And then I was at the SmackDown where Rey Mysterio won the Cruiserweight title from Matt Hardy. I was at the Raw Halloween 2005 episode.
I'm trying to remember. I know that I vaguely remember the Halloween ones because they're always something stupid, but like.
Yeah, that's the one where Vader and Goldust returned.
Oh yes.
Because they were the coach was going to take on Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he pulled out, so it ended up being Batista.
You know, as much as a lot of people gave him shit, I enjoyed the coach.
I'm trying to think of any.
He's happy now doing sports or whatever he does now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the last SmackDown I didn't care for that I went to.
What happened?
It was the one where Logan Paul came out and he challenged Roman Reigns.
Oh. Well, you know my opinion on Logan Paul, and Roman Reigns, so.
But the SmackDown that was before that I loved that one.
What happened to that one?
It was Valentine's Day.
Oh boy. And
I got my girlfriend to go with me. And she hates wrestling. But she puts it up with for me. And she got to see John Cena because she likes John Cena from the movies.
Right.
And I got to see AJ Styles because he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites as well.
And and Bray Wyatt in a 3-way for the WWE title.
Huh.
Even though my guy didn't win, her guy didn't win, we still enjoyed that match.
Upset.
Because I remember, because we got a hotel for the night, and we stayed across the street, and she kept on talking about how good that match was.
That's good. I mean,
yeah.
Eventually, you'll wear her down. She'll somewhat accept the wrestling.
Yeah. And then we went to trying to think, what was the other Raw that we went to? Trying to think, man. Oh, I was at the Raw after Unforgiven 2002.
What was that like?
That one I remember because Kane and the Hurricane won the tag team titles from the Young Americans.
I remember the Hurricane. He was cool.
I loved that match because Hurricane was my favorite at the time. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, like I wanted to dye my hair like a little green, because he had like the green hair.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that. I have no idea why I wanted to do that though. But I never did.
Damn it.
Well, I could. You were hoping that I have a picture and I would send it to you.
Yes, so I can use it for later things.
Later things.
Yes, bribery, lots of blackmail.
Let's see. SmackDown's Raws. Oh, I was at the Raw that it was after No Way Out 2008, and it's the one where Hornswoggle took on Mr. McMahon in a cage. And that's when JBL threw him on the cage.
I remember that.
Wasn't that one of the videos that we watched, like compilation, like him getting thrown into it like over and over again?
Yes. It's such a good bit though.
Somebody did the at WrestleMania, remember where JBL threw the trash can at him?
Yeah. I gotta say, talking about this makes me want to like see if we can revive our other wrestling style idea where we do our show. We do a show with one of the video games.
Yeah, we should do that.
I know that that's been like in the works for what, 15 years? Because we actually did it briefly, if you remember.
Yeah, we did it briefly. But it kind of got hard when I started having a real job.
Then we were using a camera on a tripod pointed at the TV. Do you remember that?
That's like the old days. That's probably more easier to do it these days.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just get the game on whatever you want, and then we play it. But back in, this is completely sort of irrelevant, but since it has to do with wrestling, I'm going to keep it in. But what I had to do whenever we would record footage for a video game, and this was in our old Idiots Inc. profile that's long dead, I would have to have a tripod, put the camera, and mind you, this isn't a digital camera, this was a cassette camera. So that's how poor we were. We had a cassette camera that was pointed at the TV, and the tripod was always lopsided, so I had to like finagle it to where the camera was at a straight angle. And then I don't know if you remember the dongle that I had, or it was a direction, like it was I plugged it in, and we each had a microphone that we could like hold and talk. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. The one I remember is the TNA video game.
Oh God. Screw you, Jeff Jarrett.
Remember, you spent the night at my house because it was like one of the videos that took us the longest to do. And remember, I kept on trying to get the finisher because I was good at doing that, and you were better at hitting the finisher than I was. So I would hand you the controller, and I was like, "This isn't gonna work." And then we finally beat him.
I think it took us like 3 hours.
Plus the night before.
Yeah, we don't talk about the night before, okay? It only happened once. I mean, that's as bad as me and a mutual friend playing SmackDown versus Raw, and he just stood there watching as freaking Daivari got the pin.
Oh yeah, because you guys took on Daivari and Hassan, and weren't you the Brothers of Destruction?
No, we were Big Show and Kane in a Hell in the Cell, and we had beaten the ever-loving shit out of them, and then I fell through the hole or something, or I got reversed through the hole, and Daivari comes in and like goes for the pin, and he just stands there and watches from the top for the 3 count. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I don't know." But I think that's a pretty good place to stop, because I mean, we could keep on talking, but a lot of these we could also save for other episodes. But thank you so much for joining us on this escapade of ours.
Yep.
I have no idea when this will be uploaded or what the next episode was or anything, but if you like it, subscribe or follow or whatever, however you do podcasts these days.
And we are sorry if this was hard for you to get through. Like we said, this is our first time doing it.
I'm working on it.
Like
we're working on getting better. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Catch us wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. I'm not fully sure where. Spotify.
I thought you were gonna put
Spotify, YouTube. If I knew Apple how to do Apple, I'd do Apple Podcasts, but I don't. I'm sorry. I guess I could learn.
Well, it's a learning process for both of us.
Yes, and there's going to be lots of tears, mostly on my end.
And somebody's probably going through a window.
Dan, I hope you're ready for the dat. I hope you're ready for the window.
Oh, are you saying I'm the Marty Jannetty and you're the Shawn Michaels?
100% yes.
Well, I could see that more people like you than people like me.
That is debatable at best. I mean, you're the one that has friends at the worky place, so I don't have a worky place.
Outside of work.
That's true. I mean, I'm sure that if you ask, there's a couple people at work that you'd chill with. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of wherever you are and whenever you're watching this. And take care. Bye.